Telling storytelling. How do you know you've got to get on your hands?
I think it's a combination of two things. It's interesting, intense, compelling people that really want something. And then their trust in you to give the access you need to tell their story. If you have those two things combined with the time, you're going to have invariably a great story. That and a really hardworking team that right now is still editing the last episode of this series. That's the secret.
I'm curious to know, was there a moment for you as you were hands off this project where you thought, oh, we've got something really good here, like maybe even you were surprised by the process of telling the story of this group?
Yeah, I think season 2s are tricky. We've been lucky enough to have a few season 2s. And in season 1, you get to introduce the world, or reintroduce the world to an entity that you're assuming that people in Denmark or Ohio or wherever don't really know the ins and outs of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Well, you've done that in season 1. And so, well, what do you have to fill season 2? And it turns out that you just have 36 incredibly interesting women, and then you've got Kelli and Judy who never stop being interesting. And so I was pleasantly pleased with just the number of storylines, the depth, and there's just enough turnover every year that you have new faces that you get to introduce the world to, and it's a really rich experience to go and spend time in the star. And I think, I don't know, I feel like, for up to me, we could go on forever telling the story of this movie.
Okay, never say never. We watch. Kelli and Judy, actually, talk to me about what it meant to, one, be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and then two, to continue with building and keeping this legacy going as you lead these women.
Being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader is very, very special for anybody that loves dance or loves team sport. So that was the fun part of it. We just had a lot of fun and some amazing experiences and amazing performances. I was just visiting with someone backstage about his service in the Air Force, and we both been in the same places, in Turkey and South Korea and Germany, and I got to go there as a 19-year-old from Lindell, Texas, because I made the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders and went on a USA tour for the first time in my life. So it changed my life. And then professionally, it's just very exciting to be a part of excellence. I mean, every day, Judy and I get to be a part of art and excellence and developing young women, and that's very gratifying.
So beautiful and so important. Judy, what would you add to that?
Very well said, Kelli. I mean, it is the best experience of your life to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. It's so hard to describe. It's like the sisterhood that you have all these inside secrets and all these special moments. But for me too, leaving the legacy better than we started. And I was lucky enough that my daughter also got to cheer, and to have my granddaughter now. She's all wide-eyed and watching the cheerleaders all the time. So it's just important that it gets carried on and it's exciting. Like I just look at the little girl in front of us right now. It's what makes it so special, is seeing it through the eyes of children too.
Absolutely. And Reece and Kate, the series follows your rookie year, rookie season, I should say, as Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. So talk to me a little bit about what it was like the first time you put on this iconic uniform and realize you're about to be a part of this.
It's really all of us confused. It is definitely that Wonder Woman, Superwoman uniform that you put on. You feel confident, you feel so powerful, and just proud of all the sacrifices made to get to where you are. And there's so many women who have been in that uniform, and they are so iconic and so talented and beautiful inside and out. And so to be able to carry on that legacy and to be another individual in this uniform, I think is probably the most surreal. So putting it on for the first time was truly one of the biggest blessings and honors, but also the best experience ever.
Yeah. And Kate, what was it like for you putting on the uniform also? And then what does it feel like to have such an important chapter in your life story, not just captured for cameras, this incredible time capsule, but also knowing that the world is watching?
Yeah, so honestly, the first time I put the uniform on was when I was 17 years old, and I secretly put my sister's uniform on. And so putting on a customized uniform for my body was just, like we said, surreal. It brought me back to my 17-year-old self, looking up to my sister, thinking I would follow in her footsteps. I want to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And so just having that journey, my season being followed with my sister, part of that, it was really special, and it's really cool to get, hopefully when I have kids one day, they can watch what my rookie season was like and just be proud of the hard work that I put in and my friends put in, and just bring back the memories that we got to experience.
That is so cool. Who knows? Maybe those kids that can speak up and not on uniform and wait for their day. Yet to be determined. I want to toss this one over to you, Greg. Being a filmmaker, telling stories in the way that you do, I'm curious to know, how do you navigate not just capturing the athleticism, right, of this incredible group of women, but also the emotional stakes, right? There's a lot at stake, emotional depth that goes into each cheerleader's journey. How do you strike that balance to make sure you convey both messages?
I think that our cinematographer, Jonathan Nichols, and his team, we just sort of put them in the right place, and we experiment with the right gear, and you just can shoot almost in any lighting from any angle, and you're going to get something stunningly beautiful and artistic. But I think if you don't have that emotional component where you're digging beneath the facade of, you can be easily seduced by the beauty of this thing that you're seeing. But I think the secret of the show is going deeper beyond that. And I think not just showing how incredibly hard all of these people, these 4 plus their 34 other teammates back there are working to do something that they make look so easy. And then we're trying to do our best we can to show how hard it is to make that work. I think it's the collision of those two things that makes it interesting for me. I love just seeing them sweat. I love seeing them work hard, and I don't like it when they get injured because you begin to care about all of them, but when you film it and you see them with their grit push through fatigue, injury, personal self-doubt, it starts to feel inspiring, and to me it starts to become a story that's now worked out.
And so at that point, I'm curious to know, how does that change the process for auditions, for appearances? How have you navigated this new level of fame?
Ooh, well, I was just sitting here thinking, do I have on the same 2 shoes? I literally was like, I can't remember this day. We're so incredibly busy that it's a little overwhelming. And Judy and I were just talking about where we're having dinner in New York, and we haven't gotten to have dinner in New York. We haven't gotten out of our hotel room because we're actually judging applications as we speak, online applications for auditions. So the audition process, the applicants now are coming from all over the world. We just judged candidates from a lot from New York, by the way, a lot from California, New Zealand, Australia, just all over the world. So the applications are very interesting as a result of the show. And then as a result of the show, I think Greg's done a brilliant job of even peeling back some layers that even I didn't know I had created. I've been, bear with me here. I'm in the business of flawless. I mean, my whole career has been to present flawless pictures, flawless dances. And the first time I watched some of season 1, I was in tears. I learned about Reece and her husband, at the time, fiance, Will, and Anna Kate sharing a room in the bedroom scene with Anna and her sister, Caroline. It was just brilliant to see all these beautiful stories of people that aren't flawless, and it was beautiful. It was beautifully imperfect, and I love that. And it's changed. It's really
around the world. How do you adapt to the choreography to sort of keep it rising in what you expect from the cheerleaders as the level of talent continues to rise?
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, and you don't want to get stale. But the dancers that are coming in now are so talented that on their own, they can do a show themselves because they're all so great at what they do. And we've been really lucky to be able to adapt some choreography. We're going on the road this year around Texas, and we're going to have a show. They're doing solos, and we've never gotten to really show the talent that they have besides pom-pom dancing, but we want to keep it fresh every year. So we make little tweaks. Thunderstruck went global this year, and everyone wanted to copy it. But it's been fun, and we always are making things better and bringing in more choreographers to make our choreography exciting.
Absolutely. Now, this one for Reece and Anna Kate. Anna Kate, let's kick this one off with you. Switch it up a little bit. I'm curious to know what is the most challenging part of being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and then also the most rewarding part for you.
I would say for myself, the most challenging is time management. I have a full-time 8-to-5 job, and so
Not even that fast.
But just having to go to work all day long, put 100% of my effort into my career, and then come to practice at night and make sure I give 100% to my teammates at practice. It's challenging, but the most rewarding thing is those friends. I come from work and I get to see my best friends every single night, which just makes the challenges worth it.
Beautiful. And Reece, what about you?
Oh my goodness, I would have to agree 100% is time management. I think one of the biggest struggles that Will and I, my husband and I, we talk about this all the time, but being intentional and this time spent together, because often, like Kelli said, we are hustling all the time, and Judy mentioned this, but right now we're in the middle of our Texas tour rehearsals, and so just being able to have that time and making sure that we're putting each other first in that way. It's like everyone saw, we do have lives outside of DCC and making sure that we have time for our friends and our significant others and family members is challenging, but also the most rewarding is being able to, again, see your sisters at the end of the day and know that you're working so hard on one specific goal, and that's what is really worth it.
How do you two handle the pressure that comes with representing such an iconic brand, right? Because even when you're not in those uniforms, people know you, they love you, you're always representing the brand. Do you feel that pressure, or is it something that kind of feels natural because it's so much a part of your lifestyle at this point?
So we definitely feel the pressure. I was really fortunate in my rookie season to have a leader who would always tell us that pressure isn't a privilege. And so that's something that I just try to remind myself anytime I'm feeling really stressed out. I'm thinking, you know what, I'm really fortunate to be here. There's so many women who would love to be doing what I'm doing. And so just a continuous reminder in my head, you know, it's a privilege that I get to go through the pressure that we experience.
I love that. Pressure is a privilege. Amen. Reece?
I would also say too, going off of that, I know specifically her leader who said that, and I took it at heart too, but we're surrounded by 36 beautiful, talented, sweet individuals, and it can get really hard with comparison. I think that can be pretty challenging at times, but I think that one of the most beautiful things is we're here on purpose for a purpose, and all of us bring something to the table, and remembering that helps me kind of calm down in a sense of, okay, yes, there's pressure, and it is a privilege, but at the end of the day, we're here on purpose for a purpose.
These two ladies are preaching over here. That's right. As we lead our way into season 2, we're all very excited. You know, I've got to ask, we're trying to bring some news here. Access Hollywood, after all. What can you tell us about season 2? Are there any storylines you're particularly excited to follow? Give us everything, or we're just going
Is anybody from Netflix PR here?
And we might be surrounded on all corners, but let's just pretend that we're not.
Let me give you one. I mean, anybody that follows football knows that the Cowboys did not have a great year on the football field. So spoiler alert, they did not win the Super Bowl. Spoiler alert, I'm not sure they even won a single home game. And so imagine that you're a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader and your job is to go out there. And I know that these girls and Kelli and Judy take their obligation to entertain fans very seriously. And when a game is not going well, they feel the pressure to somehow make this event worthwhile for these people that have paid hard-earned dollars, that have paid a lot of time in terms of not just money, but their time, getting to the stadium, they brought their kids. Maybe there's somebody that for the very first time they scraped together enough money to come see their very first Dallas Cowboys football game. And these girls that the Cowboys are losing, they've got to now make it worth it. It was interesting to see them take on that burden and take it seriously, just like I think any football player would. That we've got to turn this season around. We've got to turn this game around. That's a small thing. I think there's a number of individual stories. I will tease this. They have on this team group leaders. They choose 4 group leaders and then 4 women to assist those group leaders. So there's 8 people that are what would be considered official leaders on the team. Kelli and Judy will choose these leaders, although there is a vote on the team that influences who that will be. And to see how seriously the girls take that job, in addition to what I just described, the obligation to represent the Cowboys and entertain the fans, to see how much these girls are invested in each other's lives. I think, honestly, I left that experience thinking, you know, I need to be a better leader. I'm sort of a leader of a film crew, and I can learn a lot from the way that these women led each other, giving of themselves, being there for them. Sometimes there would be somebody that would let the team down, and how the team would react to that in order to, A, maintain this very, very high standard of excellence, but still be compassionate when that happens. I felt it's a master class in leadership. I think that's going to be one of the storylines of season 2.
Absolutely incredible, and we're looking forward to watching. In a hypothetical world where you can tell me when we can watch, just hypothetically, would you want to share that date? Can you? We don't know yet, can we?
I don't know, somebody wake me up.
That puts me our
Hypothetically, June 19th, you can watch.
19th, is that it? All right, June 19th.
June 19th.
There we go. 19th, is that it? We got it right.
June 18th.
June 18th. June 18th.
You'll be late, you'll be on this server by 19th. You'll watch on the 18th.
The beauty of Netflix, right? All right, once you turn it on, it's going to be there. As we get excited for tuning into season 2, what are you hoping that audiences take away? What are you hoping that they understand about this world, this experience, and maybe even a misconception that you think this series shuts down about what it means to be not just a cheerleader, but a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?
I can say, as a former cheerleader and as director, I've always had to kind of defend what a cheerleader was, and now I don't have to anymore. They're so impressive. Annika can say that she's in the financial business, and here we've been looking at Wall Street and everything else. Well, here you go. I mean, that's her career. So I'm very proud of their careers. I'm obviously very proud of their performances, but I'm most proud of how relatable and vulnerable and beautiful they are because of the show.
Judy, what do you
Just a lot of respect for them, a lot. I think that watching the show has given Kelli and I an advance to see even more of what they go through every day and how, I hate to say how hard it is, because it is hard work, but it is so fulfilling. And they do it with such grace, and they're such great ambassadors for our team. You can send them out in any situation, any appearance, and they win people over because it's genuine. They're genuinely just great people.
And Reece and Kate, you're in the thick of it right now. What do you hope we understand about your individual stories and about this world that you're a part of through what you're sharing of your lives with us, especially as we head into season 2?
Yeah, I think one of the